In this second part of CPA Appeal series, we'll look at Sample Performance Analysis Review or PAR reports. This is a day 1 report from one of my students who gave me permission to share it with you. I'll also show you a sample day 2 and 3 PAR report made available by CPA Western School of Business in Ontario. I have a link to download the sample report from my site, gevorgcpa.com. First, I'm going to show you the exam results from the candidate portal, and then we'll look at the PAR reports. These are results for day 1. As you can see, it's only pass or fail. There are no additional details. Let's scroll down. This is for days 2 and 3. You can see the student failed levels 1 and 2. Their decile ranking or sufficiency grouping is 3. What this means is that they were somewhat close to passing, as I explained in part 1 video. Let's switch over to day 1 PAR report next. By the way, I combined these reports to one PDF file to make it easier to scroll. In reality, this will be separate PDFs. As you can see, this report is 10 pages long. It starts off with describing section A and B, a high-level overview of this report, its objectives, and what's covered, and so on. There's really nothing interesting here, so I'm going to keep scrolling down. Going down to the 3rd page, this shows the CPA way diagram. Day 1 is marked holistically based on CPA way approach. If you want to learn more about it, just check out the webinar I did on CFE structure. Let's go down a little bit more. Okay, summary of performance. Perfect. This is a key page right here. This is what you're paying for. You can see here why the student did not pass day 1. You can see that the analysis part of the CPA way did not meet the minimum standard. You can also see that the situation analysis, conclusion, and communication was done well, just the analysis was done poorly. What this means is that the student did not do a good job with quants and qualitative analysis. Usually students fail day 1 because they don't integrate well enough, but that wasn't the case here. The student did integrate quite well. It was really the calculations and the pro-con discussion that were done poorly. Let's go down a little bit further. Alright, section B. You can see here the detailed comments. It shows again each part of the CPA way, situation analysis, analysis of major issues, conclusion, communication. For each part, the report shows what they were expecting. Going down further, you can see for every assessment opportunity, there's a box which tells us what was missed. If there's an X, that analysis was missed. There are also comments for each AO. For example, for AO number 5, it says, your quantitative analysis considered only the option of using virtual winemakers to fill the excess capacity. To make the analysis complete, you should have considered both the purchase of grapes as well as the virtual winemakers for a period of 5 years to determine which option is best as each year the demand grows for virtual winemakers. So you can see the comments here are somewhat generic. They do point out what you did wrong and what you should have done instead, but they don't say how much you needed to elaborate and how much depth they were looking for. This continues on for several pages for all AOs with similar comments. Going down further, there's an overall comment. It advises the student to explain case facts and to provide complete quant analysis next time. And that's about it for day 1. What we learned from this report is number 1, how it's marked, the CPA way, and number 2, what areas weren't done well on. Let's take a look at days 2 and 3 report next. This one is about 50 pages long and has way more details. It again starts off with purpose of the report and how it's structured. This report is divided into 3 sections. Section A lists all the AOs for every case. There are a total of 34 AOs in this particular CFE. Section B is pretty much the same as Section A, it's only sorted differently. I'll show you that in just a moment. Section C is again the same as A, except it's sorted by CPA way format. Let's scroll down to Section A first. The feedback is based on CPA way approach. For example, you see on the right-hand side, assess the situation, analyze major issues, conclude and advise. For AO1, the candidates struggle with quant analysis. You can see there's no X in any of the other boxes, which means they were done quite well. Their quant analysis had technical errors. There's also a comment next to it. There's also an overall comment on the bottom. It says, while you attempted to address the request from the board to assess the rent-to-own program, your analysis overcomplicated the issue and took an approach that was much too intricate and complex than was being asked for or necessary in the circumstances. Furthermore, you applied that approach incorrectly. Specifically, you performed this calculation attempting to determine a percentage at a point in time and resulted in you providing a useful response as well as concluding incorrectly. It's a very generic comment. There's lots of technical jargon in here. It may be more useful to just see what you wrote, what the marking rubric is, and what the perfect solution looks like, and you can compare it yourself. This continues on for all 34 AOs. Section B of the report is just resorting of Section A per competency area. I'll jump to that section right now. For example, you see taxation, FR, assurance, and so on. The purpose of this section is to give you an idea which competency area you struggle with the most. Lastly, Section C. I'll jump to that section right now. It basically asks 5 questions. Did you understand your role? Was the response easy to read? Did the response appear balanced? Did you focus on the right issues? And was it well organized? It gives you yes or no marking for each of these questions for each case. Section C then wraps up with again the CPA way enabling skills and shows which cases were missed in which part of the CPA way. Alright, and that's about it. Section A was the key one, and B and C are just resorting of the same one in different formats. So hopefully you learned a lot from this and part 1 video. There was a lot of content here, but now you're more prepared and more informed of your options. Learn lessons from your mistakes, understand what your weaknesses are, and try not to be upset. I know you invested a lot into this exam, but right now you need to focus on the future. You have to look for a solution. Remember, you have only 3 attempts at the CFE, so if you feel that you need help, get help. Ask for additional time off at work, join a study group, find a study buddy, get tutoring, coaching, sign up for supplementary courses from instructors like me, and keep trying and don't give up. Remember that CFE is a mental game. You have to be extremely focused and the right support to pass it. You made it this far, that means you can do it. You just need the right approach and things will come together.